evening, everybody. It's Thursday night. It's the RoundTable night. And as we know, the What If RoundTable, the real What If, is the friends we made along the way. I'm MasakoX, and joining me as per usual are my co-hosts Sophie B.
Hello.
And Haberrock.
Hello.
Yes, and before we get started, we do have a little taster for a particular types of peoples that we'll be seeing come Revelation F well into the series, so you'll have to listen to this.
We follow the words of the Messiah.
Yeah, I look forward to that. That's gonna be a good episode. But we're planning on releasing episodes like twice a month, so one every 2 weeks, and we have things recorded quite nicely, so we can have a really good regular schedule. I know that everyone's been really patient with R&R, so this should really provide some good things to tide you over. But for those of you who are brand new to the channel, first of all, I'd like to say welcome. But this is the What If Roundtable, where you all can provide suggestions in the form of super chats, which not only help support the channel, but can easily be taken note of by our moderators, as well as Hav and Sophie. And we might debate about it being another video coming in the future. And we are also taking in potential ideas for April Fool What Ifs, so we want to make sure that we have something that we like for this year's April Fool. But first of all, we're going to go start with our super chats with Viper Phoenix going in saying, what if Frieza had a Jamaican accent? I'm not touching that with a barge pole. But all I'll have to say is that the space crab that Frieza ate and the Namek saga, according to DBZA, he would have fellow kinsmanship. That's all I'll say. Needless to say, that crab would have survived. So, let's just leave it at that. Red Dragon Force 2, Dr. Tao. My next patient is Son Goku. Goku freaks out. Let me introduce you to my friend, the Grape Needle. Goku has a mental breakdown. I love these.
The Grape Needle.
And Viper Phoenix comes in with Zeno. Zeno, hi, Dad. Popo, hello, son. Gobi, what if Jiro was Goku's dentist? Because I miss Craig. Oh yeah, Craig's not been around for a while. I've been missing the Dr. Giro what ifs. Yeah. Wait, Craig's not been around. Oh.
Because he's a dentist.
Oh yeah, and the Elmo
He has
Binks.
a talent for causing things pain.
Oh. But anyway, like Jiro probably would have been Goku's, put a needle on him, Goku would never bother him again. Let's just say that. Red Dragon Force again. Monkey, try this. Okay, sure. Drinks wine. I hope you are grateful for that. Goku realizes his mistake, pales. You fiend! Why, thank you. You made me drink grapes. Powers of Super Saiyan. Yeah. And wow, Raditz with $100 super chat just saying sup. Wow.
Stop, Reddit.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thanks, bro. Appreciated. Dang. That's really, thank you. Much obliged.
Things were going kind of slow. That is until Raditz.
Raditz shows up. No, but seriously, Raditz, thank you indeed. Thank you indeed.
Yes,
it's really appreciated. Thank you. Going back to the cringe right now, Red Dragon asks, what if Krillin had a harem? Who would you have in it? Well, you got to have 18 in it for a start. Marin, the grown-up Marin for a start. Well, based on our what if Videl would be in there.
Oh my god.
Probably. That gym instructor that Cell didn't kill, when he went through the floors, and maybe Zangya, because Zangya did want to get with him.
Zangya, 18, Marin. Those are the only three I could really perceive being easy additions. Yeah, that's a tougher question than I'd have expected going in.
And according to some people, turtle, but let's not get into it.
Oh, I've been certainly round the block.
Oh God.
Hey, I've got plenty of experience. Okay. Alright. Viper Phoenix. Hey Yamcha, it's too much to post it, even for the $100 donation, but could you ever do a DBZ parody of Daughter of the Sea song from World of Warcraft?
Oh, they made an addendum to that they actually mistyped Yamcha when they meant Masako.
Oh, autocorrect. It's
Do it as
probably
Go.
autocorrect.
Yeah,
I mean, potentially, you know, if we
I can get you. It's a very good song.
I've heard the song. I've heard the song.
Yeah.
If we could find maybe a good way to do it that is not relatively like, you know, you can get a good instrumental for it made, then perhaps, you know. But Viper, we'll consider it.
Yep.
Benjamin 2000. Everyone talks Goku versus Superman. That's boring. Which member of the Dragon Team is capable of stopping Mr. McZippic?
Mix-yes-Pitlick.
Yeah.
Yes. When it comes to that particular little imp, I think that the one who would be the most capable would probably be Gohan, because Gohan has the same kind of ingenuity on his side as, say, for example, if you watch the old Superman animated series, where Mr. Mix-yes-Pitlick was played by the ever wonderful Gilbert Gottfried. Clark Kent, Superman, defeated him at pretty much every turn just by managing to outwit him on every point at which he could potentially strike from, because obviously his weakness is being manipulated into saying his name backwards sends him back to his home dimension. So I think that if anybody was capable of defeating him in such a battle, it would be Gohan.
Or Bulma.
Bulma too. Yeah, Bulma,
Yep.
definitely Bulma. She's got the ingenuity for it.
Definitely.
Though I think that Bulma's rage issues, which I know is probably saying something considering I mentioned Gohan, but I think that Bulma's ego and quickness of temper would probably hinder her a little bit when it comes to the initial annoyances that Mr. Mix-yes-Pitlick causes.
Oh, wow. And all I gotta say is like, wow, Cinderbat with a $300 Aussie donation. Holy moly.
Oh, $300 dues.
$300 dues. I mean, oh wow. I mean, all I can say, this is wow. Thank you so much, Cinderbat. It's been a while since I've seen your name in the chat. Hi, Mars and friends. I gave you all a virtual hug. Now I have an oddish what if for you today that I hope you can answer. If you were to give each of the Z-Fighters an alien from the original series of Ben 10, which one would you give to whom and why? I could personally imagine Yamcha being Blitzwolfer.
I've never seen Ben 10.
Same, like.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to quickly look at the list of Ben 10 aliens.
Yeah, we're gonna do it as, you know, like they were after our time. We are old people.
Let's tell you what, Cinderbat, for a YouTube short, let's do that.
Yeah.
Sophie and Hav and I, we will butt our heads together, and I will do a YouTube short about Ben 10
just for you,
Dragon
just
Ball.
for you,
in your
just
honesty,
for you.
just for you, Cinderbat. How about that? Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
I hope that sounds good.
Yeah, because honestly, we wouldn't want to like throw any kind of BS in your direction. We don't want to give you like half-assed answers.
Yeah.
And we also don't want to give you no answer when you've delivered such a generous donation.
Exactly. So don't worry, we will come up with something.
And we are boomers, okay? We don't have experience with Ben 10.
Oh, cool. Cinderbat's cool with it. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
So yeah, Cinderbat, really, really appreciated. Thank you so much. I mean, we know that, especially in these times, it's a very big stretch, but thank you.
Yeah.
You will not be disappointed. This will go towards something I'm shooting tomorrow. So look forward to that. Okay.
Tomorrow.
Oh, I'm going.
almost
I'm
forgot.
going. I'm going off to shoot the 500,000 subscribers special. So I'm going off to shoot that. We're only like 6,500 subscribers away, so getting it in early, and it's going to be good. It's a what if. It's an extra long what if on a location. On location in the middle of a valley. So outdoor location. So look, I'm looking forward to that.
I'm so excited about this one.
Yeah, it's gonna look good. It's gonna look good. So okay. Sean Deber. I like the concept of the Shadow Dragons in GT, but I hate their designs. Could you do a video of how you would redesign each based on their powers?
I think we did.
I think we have done. If not, we would gladly do that because
yeah, absolutely. Because I'm also kind of in the boat of not caring much for their designs.
I mean, Ice and Nova Shenron are fine, and Shin Shenron has some charm to it. And
I'm actually in the wheelhouse that didn't much care for Ice and Nova Shinron because I felt like having twin dragons, you know, was kind of lazy because they're more or less just recolors, and I felt that their design wasn't super great to begin with. But I mean, to each their own. But I would definitely have tried to hearken a bit less to, because the thing that I had a problem with is that they all looked far more like Alien than they did Dragon. You know, like I didn't think of dragons when I saw Ice and Nova Shinron. They just reminded me of the various different aliens that the team has fought over the years, especially with Toriyama's sort of like signature puffy lip style, the lack of a nose.
Yep.
And the humanoid forms. If I was going to redesign them, I think I'd want to go a little bit kind of crazy when it comes to showcasing different kind of physiologies between the characters a lot more, because that's the thing is, like, with one or two exceptions, they're mostly just, you know, these humanoid capable of fighting in the same way that any humanoid two-legged, two-armed creature in the series fights. That would be my biggest thing is play more into the fact that they're supposed to be dragons and based off of Eastern dragons at that.
Yep.
Well,
and also, can we all agree that the true winner is the Black Smoke Shenron, who looks absolutely awesome.
Black Smoke, absolutely. And Raditz at the moment is trying to be the MVP and saying it as Raditz. And this is to go even further beyond! Because I'm an extremely generous and benevolent individual who, with another $200 super chat. That is That is baller. Well, all I'm gonna say is that Raditz is super competitive, but seriously, thank you so much. That is really good. Thank you.
It's very appreciated, guys. This is not a competition, though. Don't feel that you need to compete.
Don't feel like you have to.
We are very grateful. We are very grateful, but
we're grateful for anything that the channel receives from you guys, no matter how big or small, and we're just thankful that you enjoy the content.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. That's why we are here, to provide content 3 days a week, and in some weeks more than 3 times. But, yes, exactly. So don't worry. Thank you so much, Thank you so much, Raditz, and thank you so much, Cinderbat, and everybody who has donated, and even for people who are just chilling out, doing their own thing. So anyway, let's bring down the mood with the autistic goldfish asking, "What's your opinion on the What If series? What if Goku had, AIDS?" I've heard about this. I've not seen it, so I don't have an opinion on it.
Yeah, it sounds like a gag series. I haven't watched many other What If channels, not recently, and I definitely avoid most What Ifs that seem either very low hanging fruit or gag series. I avoid Bardock What Ifs like the plague. That's probably not a very appropriate analogy.
We do Bardock What Ifs.
I apologize, but I avoid Bardock what ifs because they almost always mischaracterize Bardock,
Well, all
with
I'm
the
gonna say-
exception of this channel, because Masako is one of the few creators who understands Bardock's character.
The
And
500k one you will like. You will like the one we've done
Yeah.
for 500k. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
good, that's
Right.
fun. And
Go-
then when it comes to Goku like having an illness like that, it's like, what's the reasoning behind it? Like, why that? Why specifically give him something like that?
All I'm saying is that Chi-Chi would want would need ask for some splaining.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Gobi. What if Dragon Ball had a deity who resided over Wuji or antimatter? Well, it'd be a certainly different. Well, it would certainly be no matter.
Oh
Antimatter.
god.
But in reality, it would certainly be a different type of thing. Like if you got Goku to then be able to use the power of antimatter ki, like anti-ki, or something like that. Different branch of power. Not hopefully, so long as it's not a color swap, I'm cool with it. Dark Snake X5. Hey, this coming Easter, would it be possible to see the Raditz family in Easter-like costumes? I think I could. I could put one of my artists on that. Maybe just a nice little nod, perhaps. Maybe not merch. Just like some nice little doodle. Perhaps that. We'll go with that. Sean Dever. In GT, if Bulla gave her power to Super Saiyan 4... Oh, by the way, TwoFaceBot173 upgraded to the Master Love. Thank you so much. And
Nice.
Kirby163, I know that you became a member as well, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, if you want to become a member, you can press the join button below. And you can get access to Revelation F, the audio drama, 2 days before general release. So you can get access to that. Okay. Okay, in GT, if Bulla gave her power to Super Saiyan 4 Goku in the Baby Saga along with the other fighters, would he have turned Super Saiyan God? How would the rest of GT play out? Good point, actually. Because really, the ritual was just... There was nothing really special other than that it was just like... it was just Saiyans standing around, really.
It was more or less just a five Saiyan synergy sort of
so
situation.
That would have been cool, actually. They expect him to go Super Saiyan 4, or he then suddenly becomes Super Saiyan God. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
And Baby wouldn't have been able to sense his energy, and probably would have lost, because he wouldn't have been able to understand that concept of that power. Ooh, interesting. We'll save that. We'll save that one potentially for a discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Red Dragon, have you guys ever thought about making an animated scene of RoundTable with your avatars like in the thumbnail? Just a thought, nothing permanent. Maybe if there was ever like a really legendary moment in the series, like or in one of our things, like the Master Rosie stuff,
Oh god.
if we did that, or like picked a profound moment, like I would say in the comments, I'll do a community post, and I'll ask people what was your favorite part of any RoundTable live stream.
Yeah.
Maybe we might do that. Just to like
RoundTable animated.
Yeah.
Dark Snake. Hey Masako, I wanted you to read this in Super Chat, but it won't let me, so I put it in regular chat after this. Please look out for it. Dark Snake, could you just tag me just regular at Masako or at Havarok? And then I'll be able to pick it up, or one of our mods will be able to pick it up, and we will gladly read it out for you. NPC218. Regarding your thoughts on the TOP in your previous videos, I was thinking you guys could change the tournament into something like Naruto's tuning exams, or Hunter x Hunter license exams.
Honestly, changing it into something that's a bit more broad in scope, a la the license exams or the tuning exams, is probably an interesting idea, because if there's one problem that I kind of had with the Tournament of Power, it was the reasoning behind it being a thing in the first place was kind of centered around dissatisfaction from the Grand Priest and Zeno over the low mortal levels of the universes. And yet, the Tournament of Power is just a fighting tournament. It doesn't really exemplify those things that we must, assume, because obviously Toriyama, Toyotaro, Toei, they didn't go into any detail about what really makes up the mortal level score, so to speak. Why simply have a fighting tournament apart from the obvious Zeno excuse of because it's cool? Why simply have a fighting tournament when the problem here is the mortal level? Why not have something that's broader in scope, larger in scale, like the tuning exam? Like the tuning exams or the license exams that showcase all of the various different facets of mortal level. If you're going
if you want to seek logic in that, the only logical explanation in that is that because we know that apparently the wish itself was a test, that the whole mortal level thing was to make gods invested and make them care more about it and prepare the teams, while it was really to to me the whole Tournament of Power was less about mortal levels but to teach gods a lesson that a mortal with their selflessness can save entire multiverse, and that the gods became lazy and dependent on their powers. That's what I got from Tournament of Power, but it was never stated outright.
I would agree, because my personal thing is that Dragon Ball Super has just gone to show that the entire Kais and the heavenly deities are completely incompetent.
Oh yeah, the Pantheon's utterly incompetent.
Exactly. So, it needs to be pulled up by its socks.
And GP on the other hand seems almost omnipotent and hyper competent. So and he likes mortals more than he likes gods. And you can see that he has certain fondness for mortals. Yeah, and like distaste for gods, but like that would be cool. Like if it was outright, perfecting the mortals without all the.
That would be interesting, and I can kind of see that reasoning behind putting the gods in their places. But as far as to the question goes, I do think it might have been interesting. Part of the reason I think they didn't do it was because they kind of blew the potential of having a multifaceted tournament setting on the Universe 6-7 tournament when they presented the written test and stuff like that at the beginning and had the little gag with Boo falling asleep. I feel like they might have felt like, but we already did that with Universe 6 and 7, so we aren't gonna like have there be a written test or have there be like a different kind of test. We're just gonna do a fighting tournament.
Yeah. Okay, Gobi, where would you live on Dragon Ball Earth? I'd choose North City or Papaya Island personally. Yeah, I'd pick Papaya Island. Seems kind of nice. Doesn't get too busy other than a few years, and then you could just go. You could just go to Amembo Island. Yeah, just not on May 12th. Just not on May 12th.
Someplace with fiber optic internet access.
No, just bring your Starlink along. Just bring your Starlink satellite. Seriously, that thing kicks ass. I want one of those.
I don't have.
It's one of Elon Musk's latest things, like satellite Wi-Fi, which it's actually 80 down, 80 meg down.
I am a poor farmhand living out in the middle of nowhere. I don't have these fancy schmancy devices.
Guys, if it's quiet, I have turned up the volume a bit, so we'll just see that. Hopefully that should work. Okay, next up, NPC 218. Since you call Barbary a potato-headed wizard, does that mean he gets an Irish accent too? It'd be hilarious that his mind control forces everyone to speak with an Irish accent.
Oh gosh.
Oh. I say. Oh yes, there, me little ladies, Martin Bull there be at full power.
The wizard Bobbity, as played by Jacksepticeye.
Oh boy.
But see, the interesting part of that particular super chat was the fact that they said, and people who are possessed by him acquire Irish accents. So Deborah would have an Irish accent, Pui Pui would have an Irish accent, and Vegeta would have an Irish accent.
Oh yes, so you then have a Vegeta. Oh yes, there, Kakarot. Oh, trust me, our fight's going to be great crack. I tell thee.
Sure, but I intend to defeat you by kicking your ass.
I'm sorry, best buddy, but no matter what you say, sounds kind of funny. Rocket Prime. Please say it's Goku. The sum of the square roots of any two sides of an isosceles triangle is equal to the square root of the remaining side.
That's a right triangle, you idiot!
Oh! Oh no, Viper Phoenix goes,
Nice.
That's an acute triangle, you numbskull!
there, Viper comes in with the save. Okay. Sean Dever, could you do a video of how you'd rewrite every movie villain into Dragon Ball Super like Broly was? Maybe Garlic Jr. would be a Makaoshin? We have done those, actually.
Yeah.
If you look through our
There was a
archives...
what if for the movies, yeah.
Yeah, we have a whole series. Even characters like Pycon that
Yes.
are not villains.
Pycon, Janemba, Bojack.
Yeah.
If you look through our discussion archives, Sean, and you will not be disappointed.
Yep.
Gobi, what if Goku had the equivalent of, say, an equivalent of HD, showing symptoms by DBS by managing to persevere through it with willpower? Hyperactivity disorder? Well...
Or stress disorder?
I'm not quite sure what that means.
What
Huntington's
was
disease.
the
Huntington's disease.
Huntington's disease, okay.
Well, I'm not familiar with Huntington's disease.
I've heard of it. I just need to remind myself of the effects of it.
I've watched enough House that I presume that
okay,
it's
it's
been
like
mentioned.
Difficulty concentrating, memory lapses, depression. Oh, basically clumsiness and lack of coordination. I think Gobi, with the same determination, he probably would be able to kind of adapt to it. Probably not in the ideal sense of how he would want to, but I think he could at least still be an above-average fighter in comparison to other humans. You know, it would be something for him to overcome. Oh, and speaking of Craig from earlier, he is in the chat. What if the androids never turned good? How would that impact future arcs? What if Jiro was never a villain but an ally the whole time? Maybe he was in a way, yeah, he could end up being an ally trying to actually undo all the damage he had caused. So he then creates these people, he creates the androids, realizes they've gone run amok and tries to find a way to bring them down. So, yeah, I think that could be cool. And if the androids, you know, certainly, but in our universe, 17 and 18, they didn't really turn good anyway, they just were delinquents, so they just went off and did their own thing.
Wouldn't that just be the future Trunks timeline with like maybe?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it would probably be the timeline. If you watch our timeline video, the timeline that they didn't need the future Trunks.
Yeah.
For the second time to defeat. So
True.
That's yeah.
By the way, Craftcast Nate, thank you very much for becoming a member. Thank you. Okay. Papa Podo, what if Dragon Ball took place in a classic mafia-style world?
Well, essentially, you have to admit that Goku would easily be the Marlon Brando equivalent. He would certainly make you an offer that you can't refuse. You have to go to the Waffle House every single day, and get me chicken and waffles in the morning.
Honestly, like if you substitute Saiyans and like cold family for mafia families,
yeah,
like. Maybe not original DB, but Z you can easily,
And it's and basically someone steps on a muffin. Goku.
Look how they massacred my boy.
Oh no. You come to me on the day of my son's wedding and ask me to fight a man I do not know. And you don't do it with respect.
No, and Goku's just like, alright.
Alright. Sorry, and
bye,
and
son.
And 16's head instead of horse head.
Yeah.
I am here to intimidate you.
Oh,
Have I? Is it working? No. How about if I roll my head around the bed? Will that be more scary? No. Okay.
The Somewhere Man. What if villains like Nappa got reincarnated? Well, you would sort of get what you got in GT. You know? Nappa, who never spoke. He just grunted a lot.
No, but
if
reincarnated.
you're talking
not...
reincarnation,
Okay, reincarnation.
if you're talking reincarnation,
probably...
so it's a situation.
Okay.
Go.
The biggest thing about that though is just that if you're talking reincarnation, it would take them a while to get to an age where they would be relevant. So you might be able to have like a reincarnated Raditz, a reincarnated Nappa, reincarnated characters like that, probably showing up around the same time as probably like Majin Buu or something like that.
Yeah, and their name would be Appan.
or Ooh,
Appan.
you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose what you could do is if you had them reincarnated, they could serve as, you know what would make it interesting? They could serve as foils and antagonists to Trunks and Goten.
Yeah.
At the kids branch of the World Martial Arts Tournament in the Buu Saga, because they'd be around an age that would be appropriate, because Nappa and Raditz die during the Saiyan Saga, and a good period of time goes on before Trunks and Goten are ever born, which means that they'd be around the same age by the time they reincarnated, you know. So you could actually take Nappa. Yeah,
and Zigdar.
You could take. Yeah, I think that sounds interesting now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Darksnake. What if after the Frieza saga, the Senzu beans were modified to incorporate Saiyan Zenkai boost in it, but it only works on non-Saiyans?
Oh.
Yeah, genetically modify the Senzu beans. Like, Korin and Yajirobe are like, just basically doing their own thing. As in, like, they try and come up with a way to bring the humans back in the game. That would instantly fix a lot of Dragon Ball's problems.
But accidentally they create a sentient beanstalk that evolves into a Dragon Ball first plant-based villain.
Yes.
So it's like a living senzu bean and can spawn like a little Cyberman with Zenkai boosts.
So we'll make a note of that, definitely.
A sentient beanstalk, a Cyberman Senzu bean hybrid. Oh my god. That's creative. That is something where it's like, now there's the creative conceptualizing that the folks at Toei and Toriyama and Toyotaro need to have when it comes to coming up with their villain ideas.
Right?
You had your heroes fight Dragon Balls. Now they will fight their second best asset.
Senzu Man.
Senzu.
Senzu Man.
I am Sensu, and you are all going to be beans. I am a bean of your existence.
I am the perfect bean.
He's a bad bean.
I am a cool bean. Hey, that's my... you can see cooler. Hey, that's my role. Not anymore.
Papa Podo. What if Gebo and Bulma, ex-Bulma, and he didn't himself get offed? So if Android 16 and Bulma got together.
I mean, no, Jiro's son. That's an interesting one, actually. I saw that before, and it's intriguing because, like, on one hand, we don't know if Gebo was at all like 16. Probably not, because he probably was a pretty awful human being. On the other hand, you can hope that Jiro has based at least some of his personality traits after his son. So that could be some really nice, early build-up for Jiro. Some cool conflict and, redemption arc for Gebo, perhaps.
It would be interesting if you were gonna do it. You'd have to start it off, obviously, in the Dragon Ball timeline.
Yeah.
So you'd have to have Bulma and what's Jiro's son's name?
Gebo.
Gable?
Gebo, as in Gebo.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gabo. Okay.
Yeah.
So you'd have to have Bulma and Gabo meet, and you'd have to have them interacting. They'd probably be mildly antagonistic to each other at first, but then they could bond over like their shared intellect. Because I kind of imagine Gabo as being smart. He's got Dr. Gero for a father, of course. So, I mean, I could see it possibly working as a sort of enemies to friends to lovers scenario. As much as I dislike the trope, it is popular and it can work if done right. And it would be a very unique concept.
I like this idea a lot.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
So the real question then becomes, what if they started a relationship and Goku still wound up being the result of Geibo's death?
Oh, that would be.
Oh.
Oh. By the way,
Bulma would join Jiro.
yeah, no question. But yeah, we got 5 minutes left until the super chat cutoff. So 5 minutes. 5-minute warning, everybody. Gobi, what if the Tournament of Power was a game of D&D? That'd be fun, you know.
That would be a very hard thing to play because.
Oh, the Omni King being the dungeon master. Oh man,
Yeah.
nothing would
massive party, and like you'd have to decide on. It would be super long because the turns would be pretty like. The game itself, I think, would be as long as the anime arc.
Probably.
You know, from D&D experience and from like fight experience, when like theoretically, you know, like one full turn is like what in D&D like 1 minute. So you like spend 3 hours on like 10 minutes fight. So
a turn in D&D is, or rather a round, I should say, is considered to take the equivalent of 6 seconds. So
So let's just say take a long time. Definitely.
not a lot place for roleplay.
Not
a
really,
lot of
no.
rolling.
All right, Mr. Keeps. What if Boo created the margin race early? If he did, then I imagine probably there might be just a few more margin fighters in the team, and there's less of a pressure for Margin Boo himself to be a fighter.
We would probably have a Majin in Tournament of Power instead of Bull.
Here's
child.
I'm gonna do you one better, and I'm gonna say, what if Boo created the Majin race and had a Majin daughter that aged at a fast rate, so that when you hit the when you hit the arc where the kids are like going to school and stuff like that, middle school, high school, that sort of thing, Majin Buu's daughter accompanied them.
Oh
yeah,
more wholesome times. That sounds fun.
Yep,
that sounds cute.
Yeah. That way you can have the kids, you know, properly age.
Yep.
I'm always going to be bitter over Goten and Trunks being in stasis for Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
So I think you're not the only one. I think we are all like that.
Yeah.
Alright, the Somewhere Man. What if the Super Saiyan God actually had some sort of duty and domain within the cosmology of the Dragon Ball universe? Hey, Goku would actually have some responsibility, maybe having to understand about consequences. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. As in, hey, Goku, allowing me to introduce you to my friend Consequence. I bet you've never heard of him before.
Yeah. Next villain.
Consequences? What are that? Don't we have the Dragon Balls so that we can avoid that?
No.
Is it yummy?
No. Then why would I want to know? Bradle Snake. What if Piccolo had a son either before or after the Android saga? He would name it Flute.
No, I thought on the last one, Soprano.
Oh, Soprano. Yes, of course. Yes, my bad. He'd have some Soprano and probably be like a facsimile to Gohan. And I think Gohan would be a good uncle. Uncle Gohan. So, yeah. Mad Lad Bot. What if Piccolo was never offed by the androids? I'm guessing you mean in the history of Trunks. Probably if he hadn't, he probably would have like held when he realized that everything was down in vain, probably would have shored up at Kami's lookout and try and figure out a way to keep him safe. So that means they could use the Dragon Balls.
I mean, they would. I think the biggest problem was that they didn't fuse, because if they had Kamikolo in that timeline, like, come on, Piccolo would have won.
That would have won. Yeah, I think Piccolo would have had to fuse. They would have had to fuse for that. Craig Twitchell. Sophie, what if Elmo Binks was Universe 7's god?
Well, I mean, I think that this is more of an appropriate question for Haverock, don't you, Moss?
Yes, have.
But
Oh, he's gone to walk the doggo. How convenient.
um, I think that having a silly god would certainly explain some of the oddities when it comes to the nature of the universe of Dragon Ball. That's for sure, and it would explain the worthlessness of the Pantheon. That's for sure.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Personally, though, I'm more of a fan of Goku and Thomas fused. Goku and Thomas the Tank Engine fusion.
Cinders and ashes. Do. And yeah, he just the fat controller is Boo. Boo 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 boo. Good work.
Oh.
Boo, think you're really useful fighter.
I love how, because you're British, you refer to him as the fat controller rather than Mr. Topham Hat.
Well, he's called Sir Topham Hat. We do refer to him as Sir Topham Hat.
Oh, really?
And seriously,
That's so odd.
And we still
I've seen so many videos where they just outright call him the fat controller, and I was just like, what? That seems a little bit mean to just constantly refer to this guy as the fat controller. He's got a name, doesn't he?
It was from another era. And I just my favorite episode of Thomas is still the Flying Kipper. Yeah, that one, and anything with Donald and Douglas. They were my favorite as a child. And of course, the lesser-known version by the same people, the same studio, Tugs. Yeah.
I have a friend who is obsessed with I was never much of one to watch Thomas the Tank Engine when I was younger, but I have a friend who is obsessed with Train Joe. To the point to where they've drawn the train characters, train OCs, stuff like that.
Yes, train sonars. Yeah. Yep, but people will know Tugs from Salty's Lighthouse. But but the fact is, though, there was its own standalone show called Tugs, and I loved that. Yeah, I loved that series. It was so good. Like,
shout out to Kenny if he watches the show.
Absolutely. Everyone. No, my favorite.
No.
Yeah. Thomas invited you to go around the back of the junction.
Remove. No.
Okay. All right. All right, Gobi. What if Scratch was the Omni King? I think he means Scratch from Saturday Morning Sonic.
I mean, Scratch is no. It could be a different character, because I think we had this same issue before about a character named Scratch. What character?
Oh, Brief's cat. Oh, Brief's cat. Oh,
yeah.
Brief's like Vegeta.
Yeah,
like,
So you were the Omni King of reality all along. Meow. Meow. Don't you blood patronize me, cat. Meow.
It was never a matter if, only when.
Oh.
I think I'd still prefer Scratch from the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog as the
And the
Omni
Grand
King.
Priest was Grounder.
Or Senior Scratchy.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh, by the way, everybody, I'd like to say the super chats are now closed. Thank you so much for your contributions, everybody. Let's get through the remainder. All right. So no more super chats, please, unless it's out of the kindness of your hearts. Okay. Next one is Kirby163. This was I think talking to Raditz. What if on behalf of Raditz, what if my shot Black Spatara off? Oh, if I think I did do that for a what if one time that she actually succeeded. But if she did,
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I'd have to play I'd have to play the sound for Zamasu. Because, yeah, they would not be able to make fuse Zamasu, and the Zero Mortal plan would have been a failure. All down to hubris. Simple as that. Chrome Bison. Suppose Goku never returned from the afterlife in the Buu saga. What if Vegeta sought death to reach the afterlife to settle his score with Goku? Well, Beerus would show up eventually, find out that they were no longer... Well, probably, Beerus would have probably leveled the other world until Goku was strong enough. Because there would have been nobody else on the Earth, so Beerus would have never gone to Earth.
Though I do think that if he went a bit too insane with stuff, that would kind of, given that Whis is there to be his handler, it would require Whis to sort of report on him to the Grand Priest, at which point I feel like the Grand Priest and Zeno would show up and be like, "What are you doing, Beerus?" And Beerus would be like, I'm doing my job as a god of destruction." "Oh, really? You're doing your job, huh?"
Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it, Beerus.
True. That's true.
One knows that cat loves food, but...
The Somewhere Man. What if Trunks was female? Would Vegeta treat her differently? No.
No.
Oh,
First,
we know that Vegeta, if you want to take GT into account, and of course the later, the later iteration of Super when it comes to stuff, we know that Vegeta is that kind of dad who spoils his daughter. So I kind of think that there would be a little bit of a difference in the way that the relationship is treated between them, because Vegeta's kind of that dad who would spoil his little princess rotten, and we do see that a bit in GT, and we get hints of that same sort of personality in Super. The biggest problem is that
one thing, but Bula, unlike Trunks, was recognized as his own by Vegeta from the very beginning.
I was kind of getting to that. Is the thing about Trunks is that Trunks was born from what was essentially just kind of a fling that Vegeta had with Bulma. They weren't married, they weren't like dating, they weren't in any kind of like official relationship capacity at the time. And he was kind of, deadbeat when it came to being a dad to Trunks early on. So as time improved, I mean, I think it would result in a very, very different pair of Trunkses that we see. If Trunks were to be born a girl, I think future Trunks would carry a lot of kind of bitterness over having a disappeared deadbeat dad character kind of situation. But then Kid Trunks would be in a very different scenario, because by the time Kid Trunks hits their formative years, Bulma and Vegeta have made their relationship official. Vegeta's there in Trunks' daily life, and if that's the case, he'd probably spoil a girl Trunks rotten. So it would result in a much, much, much greater dichotomy between future Trunks and Kid Trunks as far as their differences go.
fair point.
It's important to know that, Kid Trunks is also a little bit spoiled, and we need to remember that even in Super we see those scenes of Vegeta, going to the on the merry-go-round and stuff with him. He detests it, but he's like, I promised that to my son, I have to do it. I hate it, but I promised that to my son. So, Kid Trunks is also a little bit spoiled. Vegeta can be harsh on him when it comes to training, but,
Yeah, that is a fair point. Alright, Jay the Real McCoy. What if Yamcha pulled a Deadpool and destroyed the entire Dragon Ball universe? Plains down.
Oh gosh, that would be amazing. Yamcha versus Dragon Ball universe.
I mean, that's
That's one of my contenders for April Fools.
Oh, that's a one shot. I mean,
Yeah.
That's why it would be perfect for
maybe.
April Fools, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll put that forward as a candidate. We'll put that on the back burner.
Because like the thing with, to people that don't know, Deadpool versus Marvel Universe is like when Deadpool realized that he's a comic character, and it draws him like mad because nothing matters, lives of the characters don't matter, and like later on you have good Deadpool versus evil Deadpool with that
Fair
hyper
enough.
awareness.
Well,
we could definitely do something with that, because I mean, if Yamcha had some kind of reality bending revelation with regards to him being in an anime / manga,
Yeah,
he could grab the Dragon Balls, wish for immortality, and then take on the Dragon Ball universe one by one.
yeah.
okay, well, we'll make a note of that. We'll make a note of that. All right, Craig Twitchell. What if Future Ranch had to deal with the Black Star Dragon Balls? If Future Ranch did, probably would have been able to, like, somehow find a way of getting the time machine to the point where you could either cancel the wish out or find a way to be able to, like, make some kind of technological advancement to be able to get them from across the universe. Future Ranch, well, she's resourceful. I think she'd be able to do it.
Yeah,
Molly-
because
yeah.
keep in mind that GT Arendar Shadow Dragons are slightly stronger than GT ones.
That is fair. Okay. Molly Shadows. Hey guys, what if Gohan was raised by Doctor Strange and learned magic as well as Ki? Like Goku sent Gohan to the Marvel world to save him from Raditz or something. I think Gohan is a really good idea. Like, I think that'd be a really cool design, and I think that Doctor Strange would be really a good teacher.
Yeah, I could see Gohan
Yeah,
being
it's like-
a source.
Yeah.
Of
It's the Marvel equivalent of Dragon Ball DC, something that I voice Gohan or Superboy in. It's actually a lot of fun. Check it out. Gobi,
Neato.
did you see my dumb Konkichi figure I just posted in the subreddit? I did. Looks pretty cool. Good job. Nice little pose there. Vandalia 1998. What if Dr. Giro kidnapped Chi-Chi and made her a cyborg alongside 17 and 18? Oh, just like Raditz and that general idea. That's quite dark. It's quite sinister. So,
Dark.
I imagine probably that would mean that Goku wouldn't play around. And I think he would go further. He would probably break out into Super Saiyan Grade 2. But I imagine he would probably collapse from the heart virus. Like, he would be even more compromised.
It does remind me that you'd think that Jiro would have picked people that had made a good showing in some kind of martial capacity to service his cyborgs, you know, because 17 and 18, you know, they're random teenagers he picked up off the street, but it's like there were heaps of fairly talented fighters that competed in the World Martial Arts Tournament against Tin Shinhan and Goku and Piccolo and Master Roshi and stuff like that, up to and including Chi-Chi being one of those fighters. So him considering both the emotional toll that taking Goku's wife and turning her into a cyborg would bring, and also the fact that, like, she already is a talented martial artist and fighter and stuff like that, like, it makes sense.
Yeah. No, I would
The only thing that we need to look out for is that, you know, I think Jiro was trying to keep relatively low profile, and that's how he did what he did.
True.
Also, he wasn't the biggest martial arts fan. He's like, I can create everything that, like, my creations can outlive petty martial arts training if I.
I suppose that's true. Though I guess you could make a scenario where in this particular alternate universe, rather than being Lapis and Lazuli, 17 and 18 are Chi-Chi and Yamcha.
Yeah. Easily.
Yeah.
And because then people would be like, what happened to Chi-Chi and Yamcha? And they'd assume that they ran off together.
Oh boy.
Oh. Dave the Donuts, by the way, thank you very much for your super chat. And Jermaine Aiken, how about what if you improve the Dragon Ball power system? I feel like I am very much a lover of statistics, so I love the power levels, but I would have the power levels not scaling up as ridiculously high as they were.
Yeah.
And probably, or you either have the scaling not as dramatic as it was in the main series, or you don't have it at all. You just have, this next person is stronger. This next person is stronger. You have to find a way around the problem. So you either have no mystery or complete mystery. You can't have either or. So that's Hope's your answer. Vandalia, what if Marin inherited her mom's infinite engine? Well, if biomechanics worked that way, then I guess she'd never get tired, and just ultimate stamina. So any kind of long distance athletics, very very good for Marin. So
Again, they are hinting a little bit at this, so I hope it goes somewhere.
yeah,
someday.
I hope so too. Well, Dragon Ball's been on a good roll in terms of things going somewhere. Let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah.
Mr. Keeps, what if Boo created the margin race early? I think we've already done that. So,
Yeah.
Mr. Keeps, so if you go back to earlier in this thing, you will get your answer. Sinbad, here's an extra 5 for doing that for me, and I declare that I am the true Space Australian. Go Space Broncos! Well, thank you very much, Sinbad. Remember, our Ben 10 thing, we promised to do it as a short.
But are you from Space Brisbane or Space Sydney?
There's a difference. Kirby163. Question. Is it canon that 17 and 18 don't remember their human lives, or is it just generally accepted fan head canon? I think they probably do, but they're probably at that point where they don't care anymore, because they've got, like... It's probably been suppressed, but they probably have, like, clips or snippets or something like that. Not enough to make anything... Not enough of anything to make an entirely coherent memory.
Because remember, like, Jiro literally took them out of the streets, so they may remember their street life, but I doubt they remember things like their parents and, and stuff like this.
Now I'm just imagining 17 singing, Riff Raff, Street Rat, I don't buy that. Yeah. Kelly the Fallen. This is my first round table, so you may have heard this one, but what if Super Saiyan God was enough of a boost to defeat Beerus the first time? Kelly, well, first of all, welcome. Welcome, thank you so much for joining us.
It's actually the first time we hear that.
It is actually the first time we've heard that, so props to you, Kelly.
Yeah.
But in answer to that, really, if that were the case, then that would have been really interesting. And Beerus would have had the motivation, I don't want that to happen again. I want to learn how this person ticks so I can beat them properly again.
I think the gods, like other gods, would be concerned that mortals got so strong, and that could, like, we could have a very different series after all. And it like, and even with that, like, it may even cause Zamasu to be able to sway more divine beings to his cause.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Maybe the gimmick would be that Beerus tries to keep it a secret at first, but then Champa lets it out of the the cat out of the bag.
Oh, I'm dying. No.
All right, let's move on. Craft Car Snake. But Masako. Oh, hang on. I've actually got the sound.
But Masako!
You haven't done Zama Snow's best. Unsubscribe.
Oh, yeah, Masako. What about that? I wrote the lyrics months ago.
Don't worry, we will do it. We will do it.
Yeah.
I just need to find a good time to. I need to find a good time to, and a good instrumental that Disney won't sue us into the dirt.
Okay. Yeah.
Dave the Donuts, thank you very much for your other super chat. Nene Sword, what if Krillin managed to decapitate Frieza with his Kianzan? He would have won.
But Frieza would still be alive, and that would be good.
He'd be alive, but there'd be no way for him to actually do anything. He'd just be ahead.
Oh, like I think Daddy would check on him, and we would have
while you were ahead.
Yeah, and we would have very very nettled King Cold going to Namek.
Yes, carrying his son's head in a jar.
Yeah.
You just wait until I reattach him to his body. Then you'd be sorry.
Yes. Kirby163. What if Shin this whole time was the Kai equivalent of a 15-year-old? Like, he's actually been way over his head and feigning competence this whole time. You see, if that turned out to be the case, that he was a relatively young Supreme Kai, I'd almost forgive him for his incompetence. I'd almost be like, you know what? I'll give you somewhat of a pass.
Like he's supposed to be around the same age as Zamasu is. Zamasu is even a little bit younger, and okay, Zamasu is a sociopath, but he's still a more capable sociopath.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
That Shin is.
Mm. All right, Craig Twitchell. What if Jiro discovered Elemental Key? He probably would have found it interesting, but then when he found out it was mostly magic based, he probably would have dismissed it because he's a man of science. you know, it's not something he particularly finds interest in. So he would have just gone and straight up snubbed it. Alphadillo Gonaticus. What if Piccolo got some kind of new form? Super duper Namekian, anybody? But I hope in the not too distant future, this might lead to either Piccolo fusing with another Namekian or getting a new transformation altogether.
Dragon slugs, dragon slugs. We need some dragon slugs. They are cool. They are slugs, and also they are dragons. Hey, we are not crazy. Dragon slugs.
Dragon slug. Okay, NPC 218. I think Peter Kalamis should be in the Morrow arc, perhaps as Miras. It would play an ironic joke that he voiced Ralph the son of the shepherd, has to fight a ram, and an homage to being Goku in the Ocean dub. That brilliant.
Would be fun.
That is brilliant.
Would be fun. They did already bring back a previous Vegeta for a one part.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. Hey everybody, tweet Sabat that. Tweet Sabat that for Peter Kalamis.
Peter Kalamis as Miras.
Yes, Peter Kamiris. There we go.
Also, Alphadillo Grammaticus, I just want to comment on the fact that you've got Best Persona 4 Girl as your profile picture. Chie all the way.
Gobi, what if Gohan's boss was Phil Ken 7?
Oh, ha ha!
Gohan, get in here!
Monkey people.
Ha ha! Monkey people. I think probably Gohan would get along with him, but probably find him a bit weird. Like, you know, nice guy, bitter in your face. Vandalia 1998. What if Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz were never evil and came to Earth to ask Goku to help liberate them from Frieza? I think Goku would be very reluctant to believe them. And probably...
I've heard this one before, and the biggest issue that I have with it is that why would they ask Goku? Because they have no idea of Goku's power potential, because a lot of them made the assumption, and I mean it was correct in the case of how Goku's power level was when Raditz showed up. A lot of them made the assumption that he was going to be very, very weak. So, I mean, considering the sheer gap in power between even first form Frieza, you know, what was that, 540,000 versus the highest one among the Saiyans, 18,000, as far as just like raw number scaling goes. I don't think them looking for a Saiyan who's likely to be only in the ballpark of Raditz's power level, or that would be the assumption at least.
Yeah.
Would seem like all that great an addition to their forces.
Yeah.
If they were going to have some kind of rebellion against Frieza, I feel like that they would have been working with the resources they had on hand rather than flying out into the space boonies so far out that there's not even a space circuit city.
Yeah, and they would rather use like, you know, more of stuff, like more of technological stuff than proper, because with character like Frieza, like to many of those characters he's a half god at this point, and they don't have resources to beat him, so they would rather, you know, to destroy Frieza, you want to blow his ship or something. Use conventional weaponry.
Yes. Yes.
Sabotage, even, you know, like how do you get rid of a space tyrant? Like, oh well, I mean, he's on a ship, it flies from place to place. How about we just blow it up in the middle of space? And of course, at the time, they probably wouldn't even realize that not only will Frieza likely survive the explosion, but Frieza can exist in vacuum. So,
yeah.
Craig Twitcher, what if Elmo, Binks, Barney, him, and Jar Jar fused with the Teletubbies?
That would be the end of modern television.
Yes. Arguably, you could say that's happened already. But
yes.
Kobe, I thought of Space Circuit City because that's the DBZ abridged joke.
Yes, that's pretty much it. You can go to Space Fry's Electronics. Oh wait, no, it's closed now.
Space Best Buy, buy Circuit City.
Yeah. Red Dragon Force 2. What if Raditz didn't come to Earth Part 2 when? When I can think of a good enough part 2. That's the truth. Kirby163. What if the Cybermen turn became good? If it was wild and free, maybe it would somehow become more like adapt to the human surroundings and become a bit more sentient, maybe, but certainly strong. You know, Cybermen is king, whilst everyone else is off at Namek. Comes in, takes over from King Fairy. You get King Cyberman, and you know every day is day. Pretty much.
He has a translator on hand at all times. The King Cyberman says and translates every one of his ukiki sounds.
Or you know, to
King
make it
Cyberman
something.
says the eating of vegetables is banned without their consent.
Or you know, something like, you know, Octodad.
Yeah.
You know, when you have like Cybermen trying to raise a family in the suburbs while trying to,
like that.
yeah.
Family matters, but it's Cybermen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, not to be mistaken for. Yeah.
You enjoy making the Cybermen sounds, don't you?
Yes, I do. I do. All right, Gobi. What if Future Trunks and Bulma revived Future 16 post-Cell? If they were able to, yeah, because technically the laboratory would have still been around. If they were able to find a way to inform 16 that Son Goku was long dead, they might be able to give him a new directive.
Birds.
Birds. I become the ultimate ornithologist and guardian of the planet. No bird shall die on my watch.
Think about
Because
what.
there is not another cyborg to take care of these parks where all of the wildlife, including the birds, exist. I'm going to have to range the heck out of these parks.
Yes.
Including but not limited to the birds. Imagine like a great personality crisis if they had like a bird-based God or villain
Oh man.
in this timeline.
I feel conflicted.
Okay, Heartless Fang. Here's my weekly required shake my head at everyone's puns, especially at Marson have. Hey, that's why you subscribed. That's why you subscribed.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Or
Yeah.
became a member. You love it, really. Jesse Goff. Can anyone destroy Earth faster than Frieza in Super? Yeah. Probably. And probably a bit more. I mean, Beerus could do it quite gracefully in an instant. You know? Frieza,
Yep.
if he's stressed, then obviously you saw what happened with Namek. Just saying. Ozpin. What if Universe 6 beat Universe 7 in their tournament, and Universe 7's Earth was moved to Universe 6? What would the team makeup be for the tournament of power? Does the TOP change? TOP would be mostly Saiyans, pretty much, because
And
Jumper
Hit.
loves Saiyans. And Hit.
And Hit.
my.
Saiyans and Hit, pretty much, and then Beerus, Universe 7 would be screwed. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Playing the sound for Beerus.
Yeah.
That simple as. Craig
Yeah.
Twitchell, could you animate Hav's reactions for my what ifs? Maybe potentially as a roundtable animation in the future.
Yeah.
In order to make up, just hit me that if Universe 7 had wound up, if Universe 7's Earth had wound up in Universe 6 because of the results of that tournament, Beerus would have had to go to Otherworld to find his fighters.
Or
There would have been a canon method by which to incorporate filler characters like Pycon and Obibu and have them participate in the Tournament of Power.
there is one more option that I think we mentioned once. He would need to ask Galactic Patrol to give him access to Moro.
Oh.
Oh.
Ooh. Oh.
Here.
Oh, so
Moro
you
versus-
say,
Moro versus
Beerus, that I can ask for anything I want from those Super Dragon Balls.
Yeah,
Oh.
you're about right.
Divine laddie, I will win this tournament for you.
I'll go in and win your tournament for you.
Nice. Jay the Real McCoy. What if Dr. Gero came back as a super android in a younger form and had made super versions of 16, 17, and 18? Hey, Would have been better than the Super 17 arc, am I right? Also, hi, Meg.
Hey, Meg.
I mean, honestly, let's write that down. Let's write that down as a potential, like, one-shot. That could be fun.
Yep.
Craftcast Nate. What if Nappa was reincarnated as Beerus? Oh, that's why Beerus likes Vegeta so much.
Hey, Vegeta! Are you there yet? Why do I feel like I've heard that before?
I meant the destroyer form, you simpleton. Are you there yet or not?
Oh, yes.
Hey, Vegeta. Just wanted to let you know I'm haunting you.
But you're
Oh
not
no!
dead.
No!
Oh.
Aren't I, Vegeta? 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 Vegeta?
Vegeta!
Vegeta?
Vegeta!
No!
Yeah.
That's
BBK
actually secretly genius.
Yeah. BBK Arts. First time donator. These streams for a long time and they're one of my favourite features. Now I finally have money and a lot to pitch. Oh, cool, BBK Arts. I did tag you, but welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy your time here. Smash Ultra. What if Dragon Ball characters were fighting on the ground, never in the air? You'd have the first Dragon Ball. You know, where fighting in the air was like, whoa! Instead of being routine.
And the first half of Tournament of Power.
Yes, exactly. When they suddenly forgot that rule. M, thank you very much for your super chat. NPC218. What if Gohan went to Transformation Kindergarten? What?
Oh wow, Transformation Kindergarten. So we'd have another character who had the capability of transforming, which really is an underutilized technique and has so much potential that never got explored.
Yeah.
And what they did with Poir and Roshi in Super doesn't count.
Yes. Oh, well.
But I think it would be interesting if Gohan had the transformation technique because he went to Transformation Kindergarten.
Certainly be a bit more shrewd. Definitely. Fair point.
Yeah.
Smash Ultra. What if the Dragon Ball characters used magic swords and guns, not just boring old fists and kicks and energy? There's nothing wrong with fists and kicks and energy blasts. But hey, magic swords and guns, that'd be really cool. In fact, for Adult Ranch, it wouldn't be just the power bow that she would have. She would also have the I'd have her have a gun that shoots ki blasts. You know, because obviously her mum would teach her how to teach her to be a markswoman.
Mm-hmm.
So why not? You know, different way, interesting way of being able to project ki.
Guns that can defeat Z Fighter level characters.
Guns fired from her guns.
You know what I have to say about that? It's high noon.
Yeah.
Now we just need to get Courtney's Adult Ranch thing and just get her to say it's high noon. Yeah. Roman. Imagine if the Namekian did like in the multiverse and fused all together to form a Super Namekian. That sort of did happen in Universe 6. You know, Salnel and Pilina, kind of fused with everybody on Namek to be as strong as they were. So, I guess you just have that. Vulcan. What if Gohan had a twin sister, Kohira? And what if Broly was female? Kale! Kale. Boom. Kale. Male Kale.
You'd have a Universe 7. You'd have a Universe 7 Kale equivalent who would probably be pretty messed up, all things considered.
Yep.
And as far as having the twin sister question, this gets asked a lot. I mean, I don't know that much really changes because honestly, dealing with the twin sibling scenario is kind of tough because it's kind of forcing a square peg into a round hole kind of situation. It's having an extra piece for a puzzle that's already completed. And it also goes a bit into those realms of conjecture that are a little bit outside of what we usually try to do with these what ifs, because you're making OCs at that point, and I know that's not always a bad thing. After all, there's a lot of OCs in like Revelation F, for example. But
And in a few minutes, we will
But-
play a clip from the first episode for you as a treat for you sticking around. So do stand by. Okay. Foundboy78. What if Gohan never became a Z fighter? Probably just become a scholar in general. Just show his father there's more to life than just fighting, stuff like that. But I think Goku would respect that. He doesn't seem like...
Goku would need to train with Vegeta to beat Cell, though, I think.
Yeah, it would have to come down to it eventually. But, I feel like, it'd be something that, for at least a little longer could easily become like, But I feel like it just wouldn't be the same, Anyway. Thank you very much for your extra super chat. And don't worry about the duplicate questions. It's all good in the hood. Draco409. What if Dr. Giro was good? I feel like if he was good, he would still be... Because his original intentions were to basically, better humanity. So it just means that his original goals were not tainted by the Red Ribbon Army and not going insane as an old balmy man.
Not force those enhancements onto people,
Yeah.
Exactly.
So probably he would be a gadget person, and he would build extra gadgets and improvements for the Z fighters. And
I think he'd be a gadgeteer, and he'd go into medicine, utilizing his robotics technology as for stuff like artificial limbs and stuff like that for people who have lost arms, legs, etc., or people who are having spinal problems or other kinds of different problems that a cybernetic enhancement could fix or otherwise improve upon.
Exactly.
With that question, it's kind of funny because that question always makes me think of how there were the reverse universes in the Sonic the Hedgehog series, particularly the Archie comics, where you had one universe that had the evil Dr. Robotnik, Dr. Eggman, whatever, and then the universe where Dr. Julian Kintabor never became Robotnik because he was always a good guy, and it's kind of funny because I kind of think it falls into a similar boat where if Jiro's not using his powers for evil and creating robots and androids and cyborgs and stuff like that, he would probably just be helping people in the field of medicine.
Exactly. Cool. Right, with that, we are done with super chats, and just as I promised, I'm going to be playing the first scene of Revelation F for you as a little treat. But it's just the first couple of minutes, so just enjoy. So sit back and enjoy. Revelation F, Episode 1, Scene 1.
Freezer log. We are now halfway between Earth and our destination Yardrat. It is quite the triumph to have heard of their resurrection after Trojan wiped them out for the sake of proving a point. Not only are we planning to celebrate with my master, but we shall also look to improve the power of our newest recruit, Yamcha. Although his power is rather impressive, and more than capable of dealing with most challenges that will come our way, a little more wouldn't hurt. For now, though, we can rest easy after many years of uncertainty as to what our mission shall be. Kit, have you decided upon a name for the ship's computer yet?
I thought that was something that you were planning on doing.
Kit, it is rather clear that I am far too busy to have come up with an adequate name. Since you and the computer are so chummy, I felt you would be better suited to the task.
Jordy boy, look at me. I'm a mechanic, not a creative type.
He's quite right there, Captain.
What? You're siding with him? Why aren't you being particular or annoyed like you are with me?
Whatever do you mean? That was absolutely necessary, critical and vital to the mission. A lack of action would have been a serious blow to our mission, Captain. Honest?
Yeah, surely you would trust our computer, Captain. She's never been wrong before.
This feels very one-sided. You do both realize that I could break you two in half in one move?
Yeah?
Yes?
Then why do you choose to act all flippant with me?
Who's gonna upgrade and fix your robotic bits if you got rid of me?
And who's capable of steering this ship in the right direction? No other computer is as good as I am. I am one of a kind.
You got it, darling.
Darling, I don't want to know. Anyway, we shall sort this blessed name thing out once and for all.
Whatever you say, droidy boy. So, what brings you here other than picking baby names?
He's here to talk about our destination.
Will you stop reading my freezer logs? They're for my eyes only.
Sorry. If you didn't want me to read them, then write them down on paper. I'm a computer. It's my job to know every little thing that occurs on the ship.
Seriously, she knows everything. Mutiny here? Impossible with her around.
Are you quite done sucking up to an inanimate object?
Well, I do hope you enjoy your nightcap, Captain.
What? Thank you.
Yes, your favourite too. Ta-da!
You know, you really should be nicer to her.
Why? She's programmed to run the Oh, you got me calling her it, or it her. Just shut up and make sure my arm is properly acclimated to the upgrades. That is the other reason I am here.
Alright. Sit down over there, droidy boy.
One day you will stop calling me that.
Yeah, if I feel like it.
There you go. So, yeah, let me know, what did you all think? Well, that was the first scene. So, yeah.
I thought that was quite fun.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's just to give you the overall thing, and yeah, you'll hear the rest of that next Wednesday, or yeah, Megane. She goes, "Why should I be nice to the being in charge of the thing that carries me around and gives me life support?" Oh.
I don't need life support. I'm Frieza. I can survive in vacuum.
Yeah, but not everyone else can, droidy boy.
Red Dragon, Musk, have you read the comments about Chila and Yamcha for Revelation F? I hope you got my reference to Carmen Sandiego. I'm afraid I didn't. I didn't really watch Carmen Sandiego. We didn't get it in the UK, unfortunately. But, yeah. Craftcast Nate, I have made a playlist of the roundtables. This will be added to it, so don't worry about that. And Sassy Cat, that's not the computer's name. Her name will be revealed in a future episode. So just be looking forward to that. Anyway, speaking of episodes, it's time to wind down this one. So, hope you all enjoyed the stream. Thank you very much for being here. And we shall all see you again very soon. So, hope you're all staying safe out there. And, you know, Podo knows about great moments to animate. Mostly revolved around him. Oh, White Hat Hackers. Don't worry, Yamcha and Chilai will certainly do a lot of adventures together. You mark my words. They're going to be some good ones. Anyway, have a good evening, everybody. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.